Right. It's called oops. Right. Right, okay. So first half an hour messing around with Google Plus, that was it. So emails. I've been burbling on about this for a little while now, so I didn't blog and all the rest of it. Well, I thought if I've sussed it out, it might be a useful thing to have on. And by sussed it out, I'm using that very loosely, because emails are just a nightmare. So I'm just going to go through what I've done, maybe give a demo, and then at the end of it, I will give you some issues. So, source. Ah, yes. Reminder to self. And this is where Peter tells me how I start it up again. So that's an email. It's just text. This is a pretty standard one. So this one is me sending a picture to me. Yes. Got an attachment. Yeah, so we've got an attachment as well. Because attachments are quite cool to them. I'm not quite pleased with them. Right. So one way I tried to manage it was just by picking out all the things that I wanted. So I don't want any HTML stuff. I just really wanted the subject, the body text, the time sent, the sender, the attachments. So an attachment essentially is the data, its name, and its MIME type. Wikipedia MIME type, I mean, there's something to do with mail, something like that. Essentially, it tells you what type of file it is. And you'll see why that's interesting in a minute. So that's my little program that gets emails. So this one, I found that all pop messages on the NI site, I can't remember where, that was more organised, I put a link to it, but I've corrected a few bugs in it, so you're probably better off having mine if you want it. But it's essentially, it's just a little email client, but it just brings in the data. It doesn't do anything with the data. So it just brings the text in. So then I can't get up. Oh, use my little laser pointer. So this baby converts it into useful stuff. This other stuff here is I'm just bunging it into a database, which is my debug database. So it just allows me to offload that particular exercise. This bit here is kind of nice. So it goes into my configuration and it says if I've got debug mode activated, don't remove it from the server. Very handy. Because what I found was every single email server sends out emails differently, which makes passing them very difficult indeed. So here's a pretty standard bit of code that passes emails. So you get your text in, and it's simple. Give me a date, after that, give me a from, after that, give me a, wherever it goes. Give me the subject. So here I'm building it up, and finally the body. So that is one area of problem, is you can separate your body out, but it's 2 dashes, which from my sample it seems to work, is all I would say.
So does that get brought in as an array of strings, or is it?
That's just each string
Is that
is one email.
One line, one email,
Including attachments, that's one email. So that's lots of emails.
Ah, okay. So it's individual lines.
Nope. So you notice here I've gone content type little t big T, because that's one difference. So I got one customer and it didn't work, and there's different settings for that tag. The only other thing I do, there's nothing much going on in there. I'm just taking out garbage really. just so that I've got a little less to deal with when I get my attachment. Oh, all this code can be available. Apart from I'll take all the buttons out. I'll do it on request. Get attachments, because getting attachments is a bit complicated, like. I've made a little state machine, which I'll show the code to this, so don't worry about this. But essentially, what you have to do is you step through it, and you can't use this, because underneath the subject, there's a lot of other crap, which is essentially HTML or anything else, virus information, and it all has content types. So essentially, what I have to do is I have to go through it and say, oh, I found the end of a block. Now I need to go and find some content. I'll go searching around for content type, and I mark the number, line number for the content. And I go searching around for the first bit of content that looks like an attachment. Then I say, oh, where's my number for the oh, that's not the right number. I need to now go back and check it again. Oh, it's a bit of a pain. But it's essentially it's rejecting content type that I don't want, because essentially all I want is stuff that isn't HTML, essentially. It's that I'm trying to filter out, that complex bit of nonsense. So outside of the email, so assuming, I'll show this as a demo, but assuming everything's tickety-boo, and I get my email and I get my attachments, you want to view it. And this is where MIME type is interesting, because the best way to view MIME types of any type is your web browser. It's pretty good as well. You can chuck quite a lot at it, and it works it all out. So PDFs, any picture you want, Word documents, if you've got the right bits and bobs, it does all sorts. So it's kind of a handy thing. And so essentially the method is chuck it in a temporary file, because you have to build the file to view it. So chuck it in a temporary file. You take the base 64, which I'll explain in a minute, but it's essentially it's a text-safe way of coding data. I'll show you on the text file in a minute. Essentially, you use my fantastic blob-to-blob program to deblob it, and then you create the file of the right file name, and you park it in there and display it. So let's do a demo of it working. I might have to break this down. Oh, that's why I can't understand what's going on. I usually have it on share. As you can see, the resolution on this thing is abject. It's like 4 by 4 pixels.
Is this obviously where you've got the emails?
No, you won't see. You won't see nothing dodgy on this, mate. It's been thoroughly sanitised. So anyway. Oh, look at that. So what it's done, it picks up, first of all, my marvellous picture of a chintash, which is the new fashion statement I watch wear. But essentially, for my purposes, I don't want to stick attachments into my database if I don't need to. So the first thing I do is go, oh, there's an attachment, do you want it? So in this case, well, of course I do. Who wouldn't want one in a chintash? And there it's gone and deciphered the attachment, the email. So I can put it in there and attach it to a project. And it'll do everything I need it to do. It brings the body text in there and various other bits and bobs. So I won't bother putting it into my database because that's a bit of a waste of my space. So looking at Notepad, so going back to our actual text. So what you're looking for is essentially its keys, but keys that could be written differently. So it's a selection of keys. Generally, I get pretty good results by, picking out particular keywords, date from, chunk down to, if you're interested, and then you go down to content type, text plain, and the body in here, and then you're getting into the HTML bit. So the first bit of content type, HTML. And this is optional, so emails can send that just plain text or whatever. So this is why I had to put that first bit in. So essentially it goes, content type, text email, I'll mark line 78. Now I've got my chintash.jpg name. What's my content type? I need to go back and have a look for that. Just to find the next bit. It's a little bit more elegant than in the code. Then it needs to get rid of the white space, and this is base 64. So, most emails use base 64. So far, I've not found any that don't, but that's not a standard. So that's a potential problem that you'll run into. What I've found is that if you set up a test up and go through your email inbox and view source, you can get all this. So it's just view source, cut post, chuck it in, churn it, make sure it works. I'll show you. I don't think I've got anything dodgy on my emails. And the reason it's base 64 is because it takes out text unsafe characters, so you can't inadvertently chuck a command at a client. It's just plain text with no spaces, no control characters. It's just this, which I use also for parking into the database because it's text safe for emails. I quite like it being text safe for hanging into my database. Something you should only really use for free text if you really have to, if you're quite lazy. There's probably better ways to do it. It works for me.
When I was sending out emails, I didn't do this bit, I was sending them out. There was a setting which I didn't feel that with. If you didn't do this special setting and say treat everything as not as text, when you went through the pipe, where the pipes it went through to get to the other end, it always got converted. Or they added bits, if it was text, they added bits on the end and then you couldn't decode it again. So it changed the attachment. So do you have to do anything on there to
no,
see them?
My method, because I went searching and researching, and it's a typical internet toolkit type thing in that nobody will give you any information, but they'll flog you a DLL. I wasn't interested in that really, because I was just looking at, I could pass text with the best of them, it's not so hard. So I took a different approach. I just took a sweep through. I'm doing it really on a customer demand basis. This is for my customers to email me bug reports. So I've got a very limited amount of customers that send me bugs. Really, it's 50 at most. So it's quite easy to go through their emails and just say, I can decode your email, everyone else can, So it's a bit on demand, because that was the only really decent way I could do it. So I really, you could probably take the open source bit of Thunderbird, for example, and if you were really keen, look through the code and see how they decode it. But as I looked at it more and more, it just looked to me as there's no heuristic, there's no rule. It's just, this doesn't work, I need to test this now. This doesn't work, I need to test this now. And gosh, my life is too short. I can't be bothered. So I just did it on a very local level. And I think that's probably the route to success for emails, is you do it to suit yourself.
Yeah.
For sending, I don't know. It's
no, but I mean, it may have been the same thing, but from it being sent to it being received goes through various servers.
Yeah.
And in the middle of our servers anyway, there was things in the middle that actually changed the attachments.
Oh, right.
Because it thought it was text. When it thought it was text rather than an image, it would add things and it would try and clean it up and add a few code terms. Then when you got to the other end, it wasn't the same data, it wasn't the same attachment. So that they go.
That's what the mine type showed up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is that mine
That
type,
will
yeah.
say there's
Yes, it did.
if it's just like I don't want to look at this as like application / binary, I think.
Yes.
And then it'll leave it alone.
And there was about 53. Again,
And then there's all
being a researcher, I went off and did my research on mine types, and I looked at this list, and it was too long for me.
it might be that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did solve it, but it still changed the checksum value at the end, even though you didn't touch it.
Yeah.
I had to say plus or minus 10 characters. And
Yeah, I was really quite surprised. It's, I don't know, you look at sort of these things and think they're better than they are, and they're not. I think decoding emails has taught me that real old software is as crap as
in the box and see the mirrors.
yeah, it is. I think you scratch the surface, and there's always a little man there, not doing terribly well, struggling by. So it was life affirming for that reason only. And that's it. I mean, if you want me to break down the code, I can show you that. If anyone wants the source code I've done, the bug fixes I've done on the pop stuff, I think, was size of attachments. What it's got is a variable header that tells you how big it is. So I think if you looked at this, there's actually a common character comes up there, which is actually the header length. So it's just tells me how many bytes to find the length.
did you use that?
No. I just noticed it. I mean, I did find a link to a place that sort of says how it's where the attachments are. I found one helpful website, I think, in the whole exercise, but it works pretty well. So I'm quite happy with it. Essentially, I can do PDFs and I can do documents, I can do spreadsheets. And I can do
Have you done the reverse show? Have you actually taken a file, coded it down, built a mail, and then sent it?
No, because that's not part of
It's quite, I've done that.
Yeah.
I do that all the time because the process monitors behind firewalls. So the only way to get data to the central
Yeah, I mean,
database is to send it in email, and then the emails can get through.
yeah, that project manager does send an email. So if I change the bug status, it will send an email to a customer. But that's essentially, I just use the more standard email tool that I found. It's just send it as text, so it's a minimal thing. I'm not interested in something with attachments there. And the other part of the job, my mail server does it for me. So the subversion stuff I do is just I look on the mail server, sends off emails. So that's easy for me.
Did you have to do anything special to get the email server coming in? I mean, yeah, that's because I could find it easy to send out email, but I just couldn't send anything to receive.
Well, it took a little bit to find that little pop.
VPN SSL.
That little pop program. It's quite an old one as well. Fairly rudimentary. So this little baby here.
So that's the key, is it?
You can see how old he is because classic. Can't beat him. And there he is. It's just a little program.
So once you can get onto the pop server,
Yeah. Presumably you've got access to a pop server. That's the other thing. So, I've got control of the company's email, so setting up an email account is easy. Things like Google Mail now aren't pop servers, are they?
It's like TP or something by default. I think
And I think there might be another one of these. When I looked around, I think there might be SN. There's other mail.
seems to be using a bright mail. That seems very simple.
Is it?
I don't know. Is it bright? I don't know. Bright mail. And it's usually given that work.
It is.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right.
Very rarely doesn't work.
2005, pre-Eric.
As opposed to going through the company emailing us.
Yeah.
They go, don't do it!
Of course.
It's a virus attack.
How do you know it's not? That's coloured as an error class.
You look at it on the front panel.
That's just fun, isn't it?
That's when it was the default Eric.
Isn't there something that typed that, is there?
That's like 1994.
I didn't notice that.
Antiques Roadshow.
Sign of good software.
Nobody understood it until today.
I watched some article about what is it? It's about refactoring software. You know, this guy go in and he sort of rewrite people's software. So it was heartbreaking because essentially you're just saying this thing is rubbish. I don't need to rewrite it. He said it was his whole job, and he said you can tell good software because it's usually over 10 years old. You have to refactor it every 5 years. It ain't terribly good. So yes, that is the mark of age. We like it.
Did you find out that night?
Yeah, just a search report. Close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a lazy programmer. I don't like stuff. If I could possibly get away with it. I tell you, it bothered me going in there and debugging it, to be quite honest. It's funny because I talked to my database using MySQL finally, which is TCP, which I downloaded purely because I don't want to distribute toolkits and stuff. So I want my project manager to be completely self-contained. So the MySQL one had the same bug. Seems that people can't write stuff with variable sort of headers at the start in different bytes. That's exactly the same bug in it. Okay. So that is emails. Anyone's interested, I can strip it down, take out the passwords and post it on the website like. Oldie worldy. Next. Go on, Pete.